I always define poetry as a language adequate to one's experience. People spend a lot of time going to shrinks, psychiatrists, trying to get the story of their life straightened out. When people say to me, aren't poets crazy? I say, come on, they're not crazy. They're actually some of the sanest people I've ever met, and I've met a lot of poets in my life. And it's partly because they've spent their lives sifting through language, sifting through the stories of their lives, trying to sort things out, to get the exact phrases, to let the language somehow not just mirror their experience, but somehow embody it as well. In this poem called West Mountain Epilogue, I think about my whole life and take it back to the moment in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I grew up on the edge of town on the west side of the city, and it was a mining area, anthracite mining. There were coal dumps burning. There were underground caves and mines. It was a pretty wrecked sort of place, abandoned mine shafts and breakers. It was just not pleasant. But there was this beautiful mountain, West Mountain, and I would see it through the window of my bedroom, and I would dream of climbing over it into my future life. So this is a poem in which I just sort of do that, okay? So I imagine getting over everything and climbing over the mountain. So here it is. West Mountain Epilogue. All day the soot rain fell, and slantwise, coal dust pouring through a purple scrim above the city in its August steam. Its red brick buildings with their broken teeth and warehouse wings. White plastic trash beside the sidewalks. Ghost bags lifted into swirls as trains drag slowly through the center, axles turning in the roundhouse. In the weedy rail yard, where the rooftops hummed in drizzle like a silent migraine in the damp, hot drowse. I was in my room, not in my room, but talking back to talk inside my head, in passing phrases, reading to myself and writing to myself. Go, said the blue jay. Go now, go. And so I walked toward West Mountain, miles away. I climbed throughout that afternoon, in rain that wept my eyes and cooled my forehead. Climbed on slippery gray stones, on weed skim, shelves of slate, black moss beside a creek that foamed and gargled as the banks spilled over. I was on all fours and clambering, through alder damp, through vetch, feeling my way toward a lookout near the first high peak, where someone told me Indians had graves, and white men too. I half believed in all souls clashing, found red jasper arrowheads beside the creek, but didn't keep them, didn't want to think about that fury, the unburied past. The city lay behind me under mist, a cindery gray spread. I couldn't see it from the ledge when I looked back. But don't look back, I said, keep saying, as a long goodbye goes on and on. I made it to the other side that day, walked, crawled, and slid, a snail at times on my slim ass, my pearly sled, and found my footing on a slow descent toward the edge of it, a further ripple in the westward hoe, as I kept walking, sometimes hacking my way through a tangle of old growth, day after day. And once I paused beside a burning bush of sunlight, where a voice said, "Yes, I am." And then a rainbow spread before me, and I heard the feet of many pilgrims, and knew I'd left that Lackawanna light forever and for good. I knew I'd walk into the wilderness of dark green mountains, settle into soft leaves, mulch, moraine, then sleep to wake beside a curling stream as dawnlight beckoned by a gusty, wet black road, not looking back, but not forgetting where I'd been and how I'd been, that hard coal city in its carbon steam.